All right, good morning, Saturday, April 17th, and let's do some AHL talk. The Utica Comets are the Canucks farm team, but it looks like they might not be for much longer. Now, why do we say this? Well, let's look at what is happening with the New Jersey Devils. So, the Binghamton Devils, the New Jersey farm team, they've been the farm team there for a long time. Apparently, they are having sort of a spat with New Jersey Devils ownership. So basically, the way most AHL teams work is the AHL affiliation, the AHL sort of associate team, the affiliate team, they're their own business. They just get affiliated with an NHL team, usually take the name, and then the players come from the NHL team. So the Binghamton group and the New Jersey Devils group apparently aren't getting along. Apparently the Devils have been making unreasonable demands towards the Binghamton group. That's a hard one to say. So it looks like they are going to be relocated. So this New Jersey Devils farm team needs somewhere to go. Well, it looks like the Robert Esch, who is the president of the current Utica Comets, has filed a trademark on April 5th for the Utica Devils. So what that would mean is that the New Jersey Devils farm team would go over to Utica, and then there would just be no Canucks farm team at this point. So the Canucks need somewhere to go. So yeah, you put those two together, pretty clear that the Devils farm team will be headed to Utica. Also, to sort of add some smoke onto this fire, the current Canucks deal with Utica apparently did have a 2-year opt-out option for the Canucks, which would be the end of this season. So it looks pretty certain that the Canucks AHL team will be moving from Utica to somewhere else. Now, this has a couple of weird effects. The reason that the Canucks have had their farm team in Utica is travel. And this is because basically the entire AHL team in the past, at least up until a few years ago, the entire AHL was really on the East Coast. And that's why when we did see Calgary have their AHL team in Abbotsford, it didn't work. One, because no one in Abbotsford cared about Calgary's farm team. And two, the travel is insane because they usually bus, right? So it took a ton of practice time away from their players. And that's why the Canucks haven't wanted to move the Utica Comets away from Utica. Sure, calling up players is a little bit harder because there's a day of travel there, but you don't have to basically have the team traveling around twice as much as they would if they're just sitting on the East Coast. So they basically prioritized development time, practice time for their players over the ease of having someone available to call up. Now, since then, in the last couple of years, we've seen sort of a resurgence in California of the AHL. Basically, every team on the West now has their AHL team in California. So again, pretty short travel. It's only like a 2.5-hour flight from California to Vancouver, for example, from like LA to Vancouver. So you can call someone up at noon on one day and have them in the lineup for the game that night. Not too much travel, quick flight, easy peasy. So the Canucks have the option. They could move their team to California. Now I'm going to pull up the Pacific Division just so you guys can hear like where these teams actually are. Henderson, which is in Nevada, right next to California. San Diego, California. Bakersfield, California. Colorado. San Jose, California. Tucson, Arizona, and Ontario, California. So there is a division where the Canucks could have their farm team in some random California town, and then quick call-ups, not too bad, and then not a lot of travel for their team. So that's one option. One option is Canucks farm team moves to California. Everything's pretty fine. But there's a second option, and it's the option that would be the most interesting because just a few miles down the road in Abbotsford, there's an arena that was built with AHL intentions in mind. It was built for the Calgary Abbotsford Heat, the Calgary AHL team. So could the Canucks, now that there is this California division and travel wouldn't be as bad, would the Canucks think about moving their AHL team to Abbotsford? I know it's something that I think Francesco has hinted at wanting to do, but it would be sort of a, again, the travel wouldn't be super easy. You would be able to travel with like Manitoba, the Manitoba Moose, and then the California teams. Your road trips would basically just, you'd stay in California for a while. But think of how easy the call-ups are, right? It's an hour drive from Abbotsford to Vancouver. Really not that bad. So that is another option. Personally, I think the whole California thing makes more sense logistically. I think it makes more sense for the team. However, I could see Francesco thinking money-wise and saying, well, if we have our farm team in Abbotsford, that's a really good way for people in the Fraser Valley, like people in Abbotsford and Chilliwack. That's a long drive for them to go to a Canucks game, but they could go to a Abbotsford Comets game or whatever they'll call the team. And then these people in Abbotsford and Chilliwack and Mission and all those areas, now they can take a quick drive over to the Abbotsford Sports and Entertainment Center and enjoy seeing their team's prospects, seeing sort of the players of the future. And that's always sort of the draw of the AHL, right? That's the only real draw they have is you can go there and you can see a guy like Mikey DiPietro in net, or maybe a guy like Cole Lind playing, if we're looking at sort of last year, right? You can say, that guy's going to be good in the NHL one day. And that's always neat, right? And you see this with the Vancouver Canadians, the single A team, or I think they're high A now, but they're the Blue Jays affiliate. And basically what you see is you see players go through there, right? You see people who make the MLB go through that organization, and it's an incentive for people to go to the games. And especially if it's local, right? Because most people in Abbotsford and Mission and Chilliwack and Maple Ridge and all those areas, even like Langley, right? It's only about a 20-minute drive from Langley. And it's probably going to be way cheaper, right? All these people can now go over to the Abbotsford Center, take a bus, do a quick drive. And some of the days, will be, or some of the games will be, daytime games. And they'll be able to get a lot of people in that arena. I think it seats a few thousand, something like 5,000, 6,000. It's a nice facility, but if you can fit 4,000 people in there on a weeknight, charge $20 a ticket, $5 a beer, that's good money for the Aquilinis, right? That's a nice little extra bit of pocket change because they could just own the team outright and make a bit of extra cash. So I think that would be the coolest thing. And I think that could be what happens, just looking at the financial side of things. It would be cool to be able to go to Abbotsford, take the 30 minutes over to Abbotsford, watch a game there, and see some of the up-and-coming prospects. Maybe do some live on location stuff on my end. But it also could be that they just go to the Pacific Division, play against those California teams, and make travel easier. Anyways, that's pretty much all I've got for this one. Definitely something interesting to follow. I think it would be neat if the AHL team was in Abbotsford. If you guys have any takes, leave them in the comments. Leave your thoughts down below. Leave a like on the video. You can follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, and follow Canucks After Dark over on YouTube, my show Monday Nights with Canuck Clay. Everything is linked in my link tree in the description, so just go click on that, then you get access to all my links, and hopefully we see our AHL team become a little bit more practical. Anyways, talk to you later. Bye-bye.